everyone, to the third installment of the SONA Foundation's Music and Money series for songwriters. This one is about building your own business and brand.
I'm really humbled to be in this room with all of you. You can do something that I simply cannot do, and what you do brings so much joy, not only to me, but to so many people. It's really an honor to be in front of you all today, and I have such the esteemed opportunity to introduce just some real rock star panelists for you today. What can a songwriter do to feel empowered and in control of their world, particularly as they're evolving their brand?
I think the key is to know who you are, know who you're hoping is listening to your art, and most importantly, never fear asking questions. Of me as a business manager, of Jeff as a manager, of Lindsay as an attorney. Yes, we all have our expertise, but each of our expertises are things that you should understand the nuances of. You should never be afraid to call me up and say, what does that mean? Or, wait a minute, I owned 85% of that song and it only earned this much. Because the entire journey is not just your art, but an education towards empowerment.
Art is important because art saves lives, right? And art has a message, and what I do is make sure that message is protected and defended and promoted and carried to future generations, right? And I would hope that your art is the same. You as an artist, you as a songwriter, when you create a work, it is beautiful and it is valid, and it is not qualifiable by anybody. It is by definition art. And it's this beautiful, pure, precious baby that cannot be sullied or assailed. All right. And then when you take that beautiful creation, that baby that you've birthed, and bring it to one of us and go, okay, now I'd like a check for my kid. Okay, now we're in the vending business.
In terms of deals that you've been working on lately, what are some of the trends songwriters are asking for right now?
Yeah, we're seeing more and more songwriters getting points on the master and getting fees and advances along with that. Whether that's because, like I said, part of their demo was used, maybe they've got background vocals, or just because they have enough leverage and the song is in demand enough that is something that they're negotiating. So I think that's a really interesting and positive step that the industry is moving towards, and something to think about when you are making deals, especially if you're just a songwriter and you're giving your songwriting away to another artist to basically take all of the master from.
When you think about personal branding, is there an intentional separation between you the person and you the brand, and how do you kind of keep your voice in all of this?
When I think about brand, I think about reputation. I think about what is my reputation in the spaces that I'm going into. If I have a reputation already, or what's the reputation that I want to leave them with? And I think a big thing of that for me is trust. Trust in the room, and then a trust with your audience is a big thing in building your brand. It's something, once you lose trust as in any space, then you lose a consumer.
Name and likeness, the way that the right is made, it's connected to, is using your name and likeness in commerce, which means in connection with selling something. So if you're not using your name and likeness in connection with selling a product, you're really not getting into that right at all. Voice is not currently protected as a name and likeness right. It's usually just your name and your physical likeness or your appearance. But this would protect voice replicas from happening.
At the end of the day, there really is no substance for the human element. With drum machines, with mellotrons, the human spirit and soul is going to win out. I do think humanity will out, and I think AI is just going to be a very crappy digital fuzzy version.